Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tyler Parsons, golf performance coach. Today we're going to be breaking down how to easily hit draws and fades, but more importantly, controlling where they start and knowing the amount of curvature that we're hitting on each. So let's get started. Okay, so for an easy draw and a fade, we need to know what the swing initially does for each player. Are they swinging in to out? Are they out to in? Are they pretty neutral? All right. So on this first swing that we're going to break down of me, you're going to notice on that takeaway that the club's a little bit in, and we may see a couple of other little issues in through there, but I'm a big promoter in what the body does. Body movements and being consistent, not hitting each perfect spot, okay? Once it gets up to the top, you see that it's coming down. The hands are getting onto that line, but more importantly, that club is behind the hands, stays under the line, and comes through. We can look at the TrackMan numbers and we know that that is an in-to-out path. So already I'm hitting a little bit of a draw from a neutral setup. Whenever it comes to that draw and fade, it's going to be more with keeping the same swing so that it can be consistent and repetitive, but knowing to close up or open up to shift those numbers, all right? So a lot of you at home are gonna say, well, I can hit a fade and I can come across it. Yes, that's gonna produce curvature, but we're not gonna have control over the club face. We're not going to be consistent with the amount that it's curving. So it may curve, but we're not gonna end it at that perfect, desirable spot. The amount of curvature is going to be dictated by the amount of the path, okay? The club face is going to determine where the ball starts. So for a nice little draw, say we have a path of 3, we always want the face to be roughly half. So I would need that face to be 1.5. If I want to draw it 5 yards, I want to put the club face where I want the ball to start, not at the target. That's where a lot of you mess up. We take that set up, again, for me it's slightly in to out, so I know that I can put the face there, and with confidence I can go through, swing and hit, and have that nice little baby draw. Let me clear this up a little bit more and make it easier. The orange is going to be our club face, the yellow is going to be the path, okay? Wherever we put the orange is where it's going to start. If the path, our yellow, is identical to the club face, we get a straight ball. Granted, we hit it in the center of the club face. Obviously, gear effect comes in. So if I want this to start slightly right and then draw back, I need this to be slightly more outside. The bigger we get this, the more the ball curves. So then it becomes relatively, hopefully, easy to say we're going to start it on the far side. It needs to curve a lot. It needs to be swung way out to here. Same with the fade. We didn't just switch, and we need to be going left. So the face needs to be a little bit more right of the path, okay? This is always going to be where we want it to start. So how does this then become easy? Again, if we know that initial path of the player, we can then open up or close up with that stance to shift the amount that it's coming over, okay? So if I am, say we're going to hit a fade, I'm 3 degrees into out, what we need to do is if I open up roughly 3 degrees, I'm now swinging 0, so more of a straight ball. If I open up quite a bit more, I should be swinging, say I open up 3 degrees more, so 6 total, I'll be coming across 3 without having to feel like I'm pulling it out, okay? So let's take a look at a couple of swings here and see what I'm talking about. Okay, so on this video, you can see that I have set up and am more closed, not at a neutral with my feet and shoulders. It's definitely out to the right. As I go back, you can see that it's changing the body position. But then on the way down, my hands are relatively in the same place, but what I want you to notice is that club is underneath the line quite a bit more. Here's something that is pretty neat. What I did was I took my standard swing from a neutral setup and overlaid it with a more of a hook swing, okay? So you can see that one is obviously square, one is closed up, But what I want you to notice is, again, the body and hand positions, how closely related they are. But then as it comes down, note where that club head is, because that path is what we're trying to shift in order to control the curvature. Same thing here, we have a neutral setup overlaid with an open up with feet and shoulders. This is for that fade, okay? Again, note how consistent both the hands are on the way back and down, but then note where that club kicks out and comes out so that we can control the curvature of the fade. So a great way for you to practice this is to put an alignment stick out in front of you, get set up, put your club face, again, on one side or the other, depending on the curvature that we're going to be doing. And then from there, call out your shot. So from a neutral position, I'll be able to set up and say this will be a slight draw. If I go on and get set up to here, still controlling that face, okay, this is going to hook, or I'm going to go from here, open up, holding that face, go on and hit, and we'll see that it comes back. Very easy for you to do. Learn what your natural swing is. We don't have to manipulate what you're doing in the swing. Setup related, control that club face, hit those desirable shots, but most importantly, get out and practice and learn to call them on demand.